Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would kind of share a little bit of a personal experience, I guess you could say, with you guys. This is basically going to be about when I told my parents that I wanted to follow Islam. Now, for some of you out there, you may be in the same situation where you're feeling like you're not really sure how to tell them. You know, some of you may think your parents are going to be like super happy with you. Some may be very angry and upset with you about your decision. I thought I would tell you my experience and just let you guys know that, you know, things don't always come easy in life, and Allah doesn't give us pressure that we can't cope with, you know, and whatever happens, don't worry about upsetting your family, because the chances are you're going to do it anyways. I'm like really hot and it's so warm in this house and it's so muggy outside. I don't like this weather. Basically what I wanted to tell you was, you know, just obviously my story and, you know, how things went down with me. Maybe to just give you guys that little bit of encouragement, and, you know, like I said, things aren't always easy. Mine certainly wasn't an easy thing to deal with. You know, I'm gonna go straight into it. My parents were so awful to me when I told them. And I guess in a way I didn't even have to tell them, because they snooped through my bedroom while I was at work one day, and they'd basically gone through all of my stuff and, you know, had a look at what I had in my room, because obviously I had books in there and I had an abaya and, you know, a few scarves like you do. And I thought maybe they'd be understanding, like they'd be happy for me to be doing what I want to do. But unfortunately they were so angry with me over everything, just because they thought that it wasn't me. They thought I was being brainwashed, as you put it, you know. They basically threatened me, like, if I don't agree to not follow Islam, they were willing to kick me out if I tried to do my prayer upstairs, or, you know, wear anything hijab related or Muslim related. You know, then I couldn't live in the same house as them, and, you know, things like that. They just kind of make you feel, this is what makes it harder for you, I think, because it kind of gives you that downward, you know, like when they're looking down on you, like they're not happy for you. And, you know, and all any child wants to do really is make their parents proud and make their parents happy with them. And for me, I mean, I've always had a rocky relationship with my family. It's never been like perfect, even when I was like, you know, younger, when I was 11, 12, 13. You know, I got into loads of trouble at school. And, you know, I got put on report, like head of year report, tutor report, which over in the UK, you guys know, is not really a good thing to be doing. So, I mean, we'd always had a rocky relationship anyways, but I don't know where it really stemmed from. I always looked up to my parents and my stepdad as well when he first moved in. You know, I really respected him and, you know, my mum, but for some reason everything just kind of got out of control over the years that followed it. And, you know, we were always at each other's throats. The amount of times they threatened to kick me out is ridiculously stupid, especially considering they never done it, which in a way, I know it sounds bad, but in a way it was kind of a shame. Like, I just kept living in hell all the time. And I'm going off the subject now, but back to it. Basically, my parents had snooped through my room. They found a load of books and everything. They decided to confront me when I came home from work that night. So I came in all happy, all smiles and everything. You know, just, I had a good night. I was assuming that nothing was gonna go down at home. I was just prepared to come in, have a shower and go to bed, you know. But unfortunately, you know, they sat me down and they read me the riot act, as it were. They said that, like, you know, the people I work with, they're a bad influence, they're brainwashing me, I'm just being stupid, you know, I'm thick, and, you know, like, I'm supposed to follow the Church of England because I was born in England, but they've never brought me up as a Christian. Like, my mum was christened when she was a baby, but she's never brought me up as a Christian, which I think I mentioned in my Converting to Islam video. And, you know, my stepdad, I've never seen them go to church every Sunday. I've never seen them go to church at Christmas. I've never seen them go to church, full stop, apart from, you know, going to a funeral. And when they only go for a funeral, it's only because it's an obligation to go. It's not like they want to go to church, if you guys know what I mean. And I don't have anything against anybody who wants to follow Christianity or any other religion. Like, it's entirely up to you. Feel free to, you know, feel free to, like, follow whatever you want to follow. But don't expect other people to follow you, if you know what I mean. And my parents just expected me to be like them. And I had so many issues with them over, you know, I didn't drink, and it was my 19th birthday, and it's, I don't want to drink, and they're trying to force me to drink. You know, I don't want to eat bacon, and they want to feed me bacon. They don't accept the fact that I don't want to eat bacon. They don't accept the fact that I don't want to drink alcohol and get completely wasted and out of my mind and not have a clue what I did the next morning. And the most hardest thing I've ever had to deal with as far as following Islam goes is my parents. I thought it would be harder to actually get myself eased into Islam, but if anything, my parents made it 10 times harder for me. Now, for my advice to you guys is, if you are waiting to tell your parents, if you're not sure how they're going to react, if you're not sure how they're going to react, then I think it is best to try and get a little bit of knowledge down first. Like, think about the questions they might ask you and think about how you feel like you could answer those questions. I didn't have that chance. I was waiting to tell them, but I wanted to make sure I had some knowledge up my sleeve before I went ahead and spoke to them. But obviously, because they'd snooped through my room and found everything, there was no denying it, and there was also no chance for me to actually research because I was at work. So I don't know, I got put in a really difficult position. I wish I'd have known more when I, like, had the chance, because when they found out, maybe I would have been able to throw things back at them instead of just sitting there, like, really, I don't know, upset and shocked, because all they did was make me feel bad for being who I wanted to be. They didn't actually, like, want to help me or be happy for me in any way whatsoever. So it makes it harder, especially knowing your parents won't accept the way you want to be. If you don't live with your parents, then it'll probably be a lot easier for you guys to actually tell your family, just because even if they don't accept it, you still have the opportunity to live your own life. If you're not living with them, you don't have to worry about, you know, doing your salah and being interrupted, and, you know, you can keep your house clean and tidy, and, you know, keep the jug of water in the toilet for when you use it. You don't end up getting questioned every time you want to do something, every time you try to do something. If you're lucky and your parents actually are happy for you, then alhamdulillah, well done, and good luck in teaching them, inshallah. Maybe you can teach them something about Islam. You know, I always make dua that my parents follow Islam, but in my heart of hearts, honestly, I do not think it's ever going to happen. And that's one thing that you guys need to be mindful of, is don't expect your parents. I like, most of you probably won't, and most of you might be, like, optimistic that one day your parents might follow Islam, but don't put your hopes into it, because I know for a fact the chances of my parents following Islam, very unlikely, very, very unlikely. They love their alcohol and their pork too much. But, you know, be grateful if your parents are accepting, and if your parents are very happy for you, then alhamdulillah, just be very, very grateful. A lot of people don't have it as easy as you guys do, and I feel like sometimes I wish that my parents were understanding and that I didn't have to feel like I have to tiptoe around them all the time. You know, putting the hijab on, like I said in one of my hijab videos, in my hijab story, was like putting the hijab on is easy for me to do it when nobody's around, but it's so difficult for me to do it when others are about, you know, when my parents are about. I don't wear the parents because I know the risks that come with that, which would be to have a full-on shouting match aimed at me and, you know, to potentially lose where I live. And, you know, at the moment obviously I'm still living with my parents. I can't afford to move out, and it's very difficult to try and come to an understanding with them. So be patient if your parents are like that. If you do live with your parents and you feel like they're not going to understand, it is okay to wait. I wouldn't encourage you to tell them straight away if you feel like it's going to actually make things more difficult and make your living situation very difficult. Not long after my parents found out, actually, it was a few months later, and I thought we were sort of moving past things, and they were away for a weekend, and they go away every weekend anyways, but they were away for this particular weekend, and I'd been at work, and it was a Friday night, and I was just pulling on my driveway, just like obviously coming home from work, and it was about 12 o'clock, so quite late. And the thing is, my mum always rings me, like every weekend she'll ring me when I finish work on the Friday and Saturday night, and in one way our relationship is good, like we talk, but in one way I can't talk to her about personal things, and I can't talk to her anything about Islam. But this particular night they had rang me, and they rang me just to have a go at me on the phone, just to shout at me for no reason whatsoever. And they were like screaming and shouting down the phone like, oh, what happened to my little girl, you know, what happened to you, you've changed, you're ruining your life, you're wasting your life away. And, you know, they basically told me, without directly saying it, that they hate me. And to be told that by your parents, who are supposed to look after you and are supposed to care for you, is like, it's the worst feeling in the world, because you, like I said, all you want to do in your life is make your parents happy and make them proud of you. And, you know, they said so many hurtful things to me that night when they rang me, and that's just like one night amongst like a million times they've had a go at me about being a Muslim and wanting to follow Islam. And they basically said that, you know, I was an awful person, and, you know, I'm so stupid, and I'm got nothing in my head, you know, I've got no brain, I can't think for myself, I'm just a follower of, like, you know, follow people for the sake of it. And it hurt so bad, and since then I don't think I can ever, I know you're not supposed to hold a grudge against anybody or anything, but since that night I can't fully bring myself to be close to them the way that I would love to be close to them. You know, nowadays we don't really have a meaningful conversation. It's like anything I try to do is never good enough for them. Like, I could go all out and, like, you know, go out and do everything, do all the housework, do all the shopping for them, and it would still not be enough for them. And you know what? In all honesty, even if I wasn't a Muslim, it would still not be good enough for them. So, if you have parents like that, my advice is to do the best that you can. Forget the negative energy that they're putting into it and putting into your life. Ignore it. and just keep praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Keep making dua, and inshallah may Allah ease any, you know, struggles and suffering that you're having or, you know, going through right now. I know how difficult it is to try and be the person you want to be, especially having people around you that don't want you to be that person. But at the same time, in one way it's good in that they were so bad to me and so horrible to me that it made me want to, you know, prove them wrong and be a Muslim that much more, and it just gave me that little bit more of a boost to actually say, like, you know what, who cares what you guys think? Like, I've always cared what my parents think, but when it comes to me wanting to follow Islam and they hate me for it, that's not my problem anymore. That is their problem for not being happy with who I want to be. So if you have issues like that with your parents, it's fine. Just let it, just like water off a duck's back. Just let it go. Let it go and ignore the negative energy that they are trying to put into your life. The reason they're doing that is because they want you to be like them, and they'll never be happy until you are like them. If you want to be a Muslim, be a Muslim. If you don't want to be a Muslim, then don't. You know what I mean? Like, and this goes without saying to any religion. If you want to follow a religion that your parents don't want you to follow or they don't like, then tough. That is just tough on them, because if they don't want you the way you are, that's not your problem anymore. That is theirs. And if they have that issue, then that's still going to be their problem. And on the day of judgment, that is still going to be their problem. They can't accept you. They can't accept what you want to do with your life. It's fine. Just ignore the fact that they don't care. Because if you ignore the negative energy, you will find yourself that much stronger in the end. And I am here to help, and if you guys do have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. But I genuinely feel very strongly about this subject in particular, and, you know, dealing with your parents, especially if you've just accepted Islam. Alhamdulillah for you guys. Well done for accepting Islam, or well done for accepting whatever religion it is that you guys have wanted to follow. Alhamdulillah. At the end of the day, it's your life, and on the day of judgment, it is only going to be about you and what you've done with your life. Yes, your parents are going to be involved in that, but it's only about what you've done. Did you do things right? Did you handle things in a bad way? And if you can just, you know, if you just keep yourself strong, if you keep your imam strong, then you will ultimately come out on top, inshallah. Dua that Allah makes things easy on you and easy on your family, inshallah. But if your parents are not happy with you, inshallah, you can just try the best that you can to be a good person and a decent human being and a decent Muslim, or a decent worshipper, I will say, to any of you who may not follow Islam. Inshallah, everything will work out for you guys. And if you have any questions or comments, if you want me to do another video to carry on with this topic, then leave your questions and your comments down below, and I will read all of them, and I will make a response video if you guys want. Or I will just respond to your personal questions generally. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos, and obviously, like I said, if you've got any video suggestions, leave them down below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and that is pretty much it for today. I'm gonna end the video here because it is like super hot right now, and I really am like suffocating in my hijab, so I'm gonna like chill for half an hour before I get ready for work. So I will see you guys very, very soon in my next video, and I hope this was of some use to you guys. So take care, inshallah. Bye. Hijab in front of my parents.